Preguntas Original Facultad.
Where that came from? Where that came from? Everyone down!
Facultad Linda. Preguntas Original Facultad. Sinan Elfa Valino Elfa Linda Kufna.
You will die along with your herd.
She enjoyed it out, and she behind Goruvio.
That's none of my concern. I was hired to do a job, and after I kill you, I'll be done.
Preguntas Original.
Perhaps, but not today, Athorian. This is the best that you could muster to come to your rescue? Very well. I shall add their bodies to the dead.
Time to even the odds.
I will silence this one.
More where that came from. Let's settle this.
This shall not stop us for long.
Citadel Station, this is Admiral Carthel Nassi of the Republic Cruiser Sojourn.
Admiral Onasi? This is Lieutenant Gren, TSF. We've been expecting you.
Gren, it's nice to know that TSF hasn't gone to shambles in my absence.
And how about you? An Admiral. You might change your tune after you see what the situation is like down here, Carth. I've got some bad news for you.
Well, it can't be that bad, Gren. I think Telos has already been through the worst.
The one you came all the way out here to pick up? Well, he managed to escape the station. We're not exactly sure how it happened.
Well, that's unfortunate, but luckily it still fits our plans.
Am I hearing this right?
I'll tell you more when I arrive, but the Republic has decided not to detain the exile and adopt a wait-and-see approach.
The exile? Then
Like I said, we'll talk more when I arrive.
looks like we will. I'm uploading the approach vector to you now. See you soon, Admiral.
Good to have you back, General. Easy now. You survived one spectacular crash. Lucky I was here to pull you and your friends out of that shuttle, or you'd be more than a little crispy. But it's only fair. I owe you more than one, General. You must be in shock from the crash. Have to expect some long-term memory loss from that. Too bad he's not a droid, huh? We can't all be that lucky. I'll humor you, General. I was one of the Iridonian Mechanic Corps that was at Malachor. Theater. I can see how you'd forget me, being that I was the only one. Don't think too hard. I'd rather not talk about the war, if we could. We all went through some tough times after Malachor, and maybe we all did a little forgetting. Guess that's one thing we've got better than droids. They can't forget anything. But then you give them a memory wipe and they forget for good. They'll be fine. The pilot's more or less unharmed, and the old lady, well, she's tougher than she looks. You know, I never thought I'd see you again, General. Galaxy's a big place, and this is the last place I thought I'd bump into you. So I have to ask, just what are you doing here? Got some news for you, General. That shuttle of yours is done for. Scrap.
Well, this is familiar. Feels like my last time on Telos.
Crashed the shuttle that time, too?
Nope, Pazak.
That was not the most pleasant landing I've endured. Next time we should perhaps seek out a more reputable pilot.
You're welcome, Kreia. You know, if I weren't such a crack pilot, we could have hit the shield wall or one of those rock faces.
Yes, our current situation is a vast improvement.
We don't have any idea where to look for the Ebon Hawk.
I can help you find it. I have access to the shield network. I came hoping to repair whatever damage your shuttle took, but not even I can fix that wreck. That's the plan.
Let us end this.
Mercenaries, right where we need to go. That sentry droid probably spotted us already. They were probably looking for me when they saw your shuttle go down. This won't take long. Let's get this over with. Let me handle this.
That is good. As a breeze may swiftly turn to a gale, you are slowly beginning to be reopened to the Force.
Quiet. There's a large mercenary patrol up ahead. If we move carefully along the perimeter, we may be able to get by without their spotting us. We could cross along the shore, or head along the cliffs to the south. I'll follow close. Take them down.
Chinor taharem be chokundido. Bomrama nikodos. Ching palamuli. Donina chiwa. Kota wind. Porca no shawatama. No sokopaputo. Brentaba nin sucho.
There's the landing pad. There should be a computer terminal I can access from there. Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way there. Look sharp.
What do we have here? The Jedi. Saves us the trouble of looking for you. Corin Fault did say you were dangerous. Maybe he does know what he's talking about. Fault hired me to keep everyone out of the restoration zone. You in particular. A grenade with your name on it, Jedi. Attack!
Let us end this.
This won't take long. Hopefully I'll be able to access the shield network from this console. Good, it's functional. And my passcodes still work. Now let's find your ship. The TSF probably thinks the ship was put down in the wastes, but they don't know the planet as well as I do. Telos' atmosphere has been turned into acidic vapor. Landing a ship in the wastes would be like sealing it in a hangar full of hungry Minox. So that means there's probably an unsanctioned landing site somewhere on the planet, still shielded, but not a restoration zone or other listed facility. That's why I need access to the SHIELD network. Here, a small anomaly in the SHIELD network's power grid. I'm not surprised the TSF didn't spot this. It's subtle, more like an error or random flux than anything suspicious. It looks like power is being drawn to generate a shield over a small area in the polar region, but nothing should be down there. Orbital cameras show nothing, just an empty mesa.
We should investigate this. I feel this is the best bet of finding the Ebon Hawk.
That's a little tougher. According to the computer, a shuttle is currently docked inside the research facility. At least there was at last report, though that was months ago. I don't, but that's not going to stop me. I'm getting back to Citadel if I have to build a new ship myself. There's one other small problem. Recently, Zerka teams that were sent into the military facility have not been coming out. But it's not as though we have any choice. This arm of mine isn't just for show, General. Stand back. The Zerka mercenaries were a little surprised when I broke my way out of my holding cell. The shields there were even weaker than these, after you. Asked for it. How do you like Feels like poison. Feels like poison. This you, how do you like that?
This shall not stop us for long.
There she is, one orbital shuttle. Looks like it's in serviceable condition. That's all a moot point, though. The hangar bay doors are closed. I don't fancy flying the shuttle through solid metal, so I'd say we need to find a way to get them open. We'll also need to find the ignition codes for the shuttle, or else we'll have some trouble getting off the ground. If we get all that, I wouldn't worry about what shape this heap is in. I'll get it running.
Tawancha morichiwa mufalawa ni bobo wishyo kuna sita dorcho ni sobawata kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura tayaita ta bosananansata tonata biasvia chicho watana kunera que te dinito para más nucho. Creking no una panca di planito bamanananga.
Let's go. This won't take long. Let me handle this.
Statement. We have arrived too late. The target has evaded us. We must pursue it. Observation. They have likely escaped aboard the orbital shuttle that has been docked here. The Bay Control computer likely will have a record of their departure. Query. Have you discovered anything about the shuttle's course? Answer. I have managed to track the shuttle's movement across the SHIELD network. However, the SHIELD network does not stretch over the polar region, which was the shuttle's apparent destination. Statement. Dispatch a unit to the polar region with the last known coordinates and approximate path of the shuttle. They will not escape us again. Declaration. There you are. It has been extremely difficult to track you down, Jedi. Quick clarification. But now that we have found you, we hope that we can facilitate communications. Unnecessary addendum. And put an end to hostilities. Self-evident answer. Wherever you try to run, we will be there, armed and ready. Rhetorical query. So the query you have posed to us is one we put to you. What are you doing here, we wonder? Chiding statement. Oh, Jedi, there are as many of us as are needed to capture or kill our targets. Egotistical boast. And there are far more of us than any one Jedi. Destroy one of us, and more shall rise from the wreckage. Unnecessary threat. And our attack protocols are more than a match for you and your allies. Unnecessary clarification. We merely wish to cripple your vessel. Once we tracked your coordinates, we were able to deploy several droids in this location. Probing query. We are, however, curious as to why you chose to come to the remnants of the polar Telos irrigation system. There is nothing here that our instruments can detect. Eager threat. But we are looking forward to extracting your motives for coming here when we place you in torture restraints.
Let's settle this. Time to take you down to size.
I will silence this.
Failing, master.
Let us end this.
Time to even the odds.
Let us end this.
Systems failing, master. Systems failing, master.
You seem pretty calm. It's almost streaming off of you. A lot calmer than you were on Paragus when I first met you. Well, it's good to see. You're a nice counterbalance to that old witch back there. All right, what did you want to know?
Lay down your weapons, and you shall not be harmed. I will not warn you again. Drop your weapons, or we shall take them from you.
Do as they say. I sense we will come to no harm.
Why is it that everywhere we go, I end up in a cell? I mean, why did they lock us up? What is this place?
It is a training ground for Jedi.
What? This ice hole?
Yes. It bears the semblance of an academy. But where are all the students? Curious.
You've got to be joking. What is a Jedi Academy doing out here in the middle of nowhere?
It is a place hidden from the galaxy like the Academy on Dantooine. But this place... Oh, Atris, you have been clever.
Atris?
It's none of your concern.
Well, the sooner we're out of here, the better. 2 crazy Jedi are more than enough for me. No one told me we were going to be dumped in a nest of Jedi.
And what is it about this place that causes you such fear?
What do you mean? We're in the middle of a bunch of Jedi. You know how they are.
No, I do not. Not in the way you seem to.
What are you doing? Get out of my head!
Stop struggling. Let me follow the current. Deeper to its source.
Stop! Stop! Ah!
Ah, with the fear is mingled guilt. It squirms in you like a worm. And the why? Ah, and there is its heart. You surprise me. I could not feel it before. Your feelings are a powerful shield indeed. Do not worry, Atten. If he is a Jedi, he will forgive. And if he is not, he will not care.
You can't tell him, please. I'm asking you. I don't want him to...
Think less of you. I hardly think that's possible. Still, there is no shame in what you ask. We all wage war with the past, and it leaves its scars. I will not speak of yours, Atten, but there is a price for such things.
What? What price?
There are those who wage war and those who follow them. You are a crude thing, murderer, but you have your uses. You know how important this man we travel with is. Even one such as you can feel it. You will serve him until I release you.
And if I refuse?
You will not. If you do, then my silence will be broken. And then, Atten, you will be broken. You fear the Jedi, and rightly so. If Atris learns of your choices, you will never leave this place. But whatever fear you hold of the Jedi, know that if you disobey me, that my punishment will make you beg for the death that has long hounded you. Wipe the fear from your mind. You will not find blind obedience a difficult master. You chose it once. You will learn to embrace it again.
I don't know how you became such a manipulative witch, but why a vicious old scowl like yourself would even bother with me is a bigger mystery.
No game of Dajaric can be won without pawns, and this may prove to be a very long game. You are a slippery one. Your thoughts difficult for even one such as I to read. I suspect the self-loathing that squirms within you gives you a curious strength. Your spirit, as diseased as it is, refuses to allow you to give up, no matter what threats you face and whatever wreckage you leave behind you. I feel you have crossed our path for a reason. Perhaps even you, at the right moment, may be able to turn aside disaster. If so, your potential is not yet spent.
Fine. I'll be your pawn. But I still think you've got the wrong man.
Perhaps. But someone has to fly the ship, and the Force is a hard thing to predict. You have crossed our path for a reason. Our path brought us here for a reason. And now I know why. The past is here, and it must be met before the future can be set in motion.
More Jedi speak. Care to explain?
No. I've wasted enough time with you. Sleep, murderer, and be silent. I need no distractions. A critical moment approaches.
I did not expect to see you again after the day of your sentencing. I thought you had taken the exile's path, wandering the galaxy. Yet you have returned. Why? Your ship? Ah, the Ebon Hawk. It is not your ship. Unless you are admitting to the destruction of the Paragus mining facility. The Ebon Hawk is here, safe. Its records and Navicomputer are being dissected to determine what caused the destruction of the Paragus facility. We're having some trouble with the Navicomputer, but I think with your cooperation, willing or otherwise, that will cease to be an obstacle. If it is your ship, perhaps I should be questioning you as to what happened, and why you destroyed the facility and murdered all the miners stationed there. A facility of over 150 personnel, all dead before you arrived? A childish story to mask your crime. And with the facility destroyed, you think there is no way to confirm your story. But I will pry the truth from you, I promise you that. Again, you insist it is your ship. But it has had many owners, which I'm sure you are aware. You have no claim over it. Even if you did, the destruction you have already caused demands that you be tried and punished for what you have done. It was too much to hope that you may have come here to finally admit the Council was right. I have always kept it, as a reminder of what can happen when your passions dictate your actions. I've kept it so I would never forget your arrogance and your insults to the Order. Take your ship, then. I don't care where you go, just leave this place. Leave Telos.
We shall remove him, Mistress. Come with us. Are you all right, Mistress?
The exile brought up feelings best left forgotten.
Forgive me, Mistress, but I must ask. The exile. I've never seen another affect you so strongly. Did you care for him once?
The Jedi have no such attachments. As always, he will do as he wills. And the galaxy, and the feelings of others, can burn for all he cares. The day we judged him, I stood in the chamber and he was so right. He was so certain of it, I doubted myself. He chose Revan over the Jedi, over the Council, over... But now I am tired and I must meditate.
Of course, Mistress. I will tell the others you are not to be disturbed. And please, do not exhaust yourself. We can attend to matters here.
Why have you approached me? You will find them in the main irrigation channel room, in the northern part of the plateau interior. The particle emitters there that once governed the flow of water to Telos can double as force cages. They were caged for their safety, until we could determine your intent, Exile. Atris cautioned us against your tactics, fearing that your allies would create a distraction. Your companions gave us little trouble, however. The male could have presented some challenge if he had resisted, but he chose not to. We have some training in dealing with Jedi. You would have posed little threat. Your ship is stored in the hangar. Atris has given you permission to leave this place and not to return. You may ask. This was once a mighty irrigation center for Telos. It survived the orbital bombardment of the Sith, though the inhabitants did not. Ancient irrigation channels still lie beneath the surface of Telos, waiting to be used again for the reconstruction efforts controlled from this facility. Shortly before the destruction of Dantooine by the forces of the traitor Jedi Malik, Atris had many Jedi artifacts and knowledge transported here secretly. The Jedi Council sensed it, Master Vrook, Master Vandar, but it was too late to do much except make arrangements for evacuation. It was a dark day for the Order. Many on Dantooine did not survive, Jedi or not. Atris would not speak for many days after the attack, and we feared our mistress was lost to us. In time, she regained her voice and her strength. She brought the artifacts and the teachings of the Jedi here and has kept them safe. Even the Sith prefer live prey to scavenging a corpse. She thought that a world already savaged by the Sith would not prove a target a second time. It was a place where the artifacts and the teachings of the Jedi could be kept safely if the Sith could not be turned aside. Yes, many relics from Dantooine, some which predate even the destruction of Ossus. She was not able to save all, but she saved enough. She was able to bring them here before the Academy's destruction. It was a fortunate thing. She was not able to save everything. Viewing the relics is not allowed without Atris's permission. Atris speaks of you, but Jedi is not the term she uses. She says you followed Revan to war, the same Revan who took the Mandalorian flame and brought it to the Jedi. Perhaps you believe that, but there is often little difference in one who wages war and one who follows another to war. Atris speaks what she sees, and she sees much truth in things, and others. Of course, I exist to serve the Jedi. You may... We serve the Jedi, and we watch. I assume you meant no insult. It is forbidden for us to become Jedi, even if we possessed the awareness of the galaxy that the Jedi possess. We are here because we are not Jedi. That is our purpose. We have taken an oath to never follow the teachings of the Jedi, only to watch those of the Order and carry out Atris's will should it be necessary. Atris believes the new Jedi Order that shall arise here will need to be guarded and watched by those not touched by the Force. She thinks it will give balance. Atris is the one we serve, and she guides our actions. Atris is the only Jedi here, this is true, but the Mistress will bring others in time. You are no Jedi. Atris has made that clear. When you went to war, you gave up the mantle of the Jedi and became something else. You will find them in the main irrigation channel room. in the northern part of the plateau interior. The particle emitters there that once governed the flow of water to Telos can double as force cages. You shall not be challenged. As I have said, you will find them in the irrigation room in the northern part of the complex. You may ask, we share the same father, and we all bear the face of our mother. It is not unusual for the Achani of the same parents to be born so as to be indistinguishable to outsiders. As I have said, it is not unusual for the Achani of the same parents to be born so as to be indistinguishable to outsiders. If you seek to raise anger in me, you will fail, exile. I tolerate your presence only upon orders of the mistress. She did not order me to endure your questions. One cannot take back an action, and often apologizing for it only compounds the insult. Simply drop the matter and be silent. You may ask, the mistress? What of her? She is meditating, and she does not wish to be disturbed. Your presence here has troubled her, and I hope you do not choose to trouble her further. She leads us. As she rebuilds Telos, she rebuilds the Order, and through them, the galaxy. We serve the Jedi. We do not question them. Yet, Atris has told us that the work here at Telos may pay for similar efforts in many worlds along the Rim that were destroyed when the Jedi turned on each other. She has said the Jedi Order needs such a foundation if it is to rebuild. She faults the teaching of many of the Jedi Masters as the spark of the Jedi Civil War. Atris has said that if Revan and Malak had been properly instructed in the ways of the Jedi, they never would have fallen, and nor would you, exile. That is unknown to me. I have never observed Atris to teach Jedi, nor would I wish to. Atris has chosen instead to focus her efforts on galactic recovery. Once the galaxy breathes again, disciples will come. She predicted you would say as much. She seems to know you quite well. Perhaps you are the one who knows nothing. I would welcome a chance to instruct you. I have been anxious to teach you many principles of combat ever since you invaded this place. Oh yes, we train extensively in various combat styles, and we have not had another target for some time. You may prove a pleasant diversion.
You are the exile, the one Atris warned us about. She said you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself. That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts, and she told us why you fell to the dark side. Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up. Atris says, when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with him because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force. So it was a matter of choice then. If Atris has erred in her evaluation of your motivations, it might be best to inform her. I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation. Yes, it is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all. Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion. Perhaps it may prove truer than conversing with words. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear. These are pure moments of expression. You may ask. I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others. I do not wish to discuss it. If there is something else you wish to ask, you may do so. It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and I, and such trust takes time. You may ask. She said, you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself. Before you go, Exile, question for you, if I may ask it. You have touched the Force. What does it feel like? Please, I wish to know. I see. Thank you, Exile. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me.
Find what you came for. There was something from your past here, something unresolved. I feel we did not come to this place by chance. You were led here. This woman who resides here, she did something to you once, something that hangs upon you still. Whatever her charm, or lack thereof, you must deal with it. Unresolved events from our past can create wounds in the present and the future. And more importantly, they can distract you, weaken you. It could prove fatal against the enemies we face. There is a Jedi here, perhaps, in that you are correct. Yet there are no students, and this woman, this Atris, surrounds herself with those who cannot feel the Force. Curious. Yes, her servants are not Jedi. Their minds are walls trained to resist tricks of the mind. This discipline blinds them to the Force as well, even if they were Force sensitive. Invade the mind of another? It is not something done carelessly, or when there is nothing to be gained. Plans are fragile things, and life often dashes expectations to the ground. Perhaps students will come to her in time. For now, she is surrounded by those who cannot feel the Force. Yes, her servants are not Jedi. Their minds are walls trained to resist tricks of the mind. This discipline blinds them to the Force as well, even if they were Force sensitive. Invade the mind of another? It is not something done carelessly, or when there is nothing to be gained. Very well, let us depart. He's only sleeping. It seems the journey here has fatigued him.
I am sorry, General. I must have lost consciousness in the crash. I'm fine, General. Even power has been restored to my arm. What is this place? Where are we? This must be where I had detected the energy readings before, and the drain to the restoration shields. This room, this place, it looks part of a huge polar irrigation system, possibly planet-wide, like the one on Coruscant. I had been told by the Republic that it was not in use. I am, General. If you wish, I may travel with you, or join you at the ship. Very well, General. I will await your arrival.
Don't worry about me, I'm fine. How did things go with the Jedi here? Are you all done? Things went that well, huh? You make friends wherever you go, don't you? Well, that's encouraging. Nothing like a steady stream of people who hate us or want to kill us to keep the heart pumping.
Did she? Perhaps it is a meditation chamber of some sort. I hear you.
If it isn't the one who stole the Ebon Hawk. Not so smug now, are you, you little thief?
Don't be a fool. Atris stole the ship and the droid.
Says you.
you